Hi, this is Nicholas French, broker associate with Serena Group, coming to you today, day 24 of our quarantine at home. It's been quite a surreal experience, I'm sure, for all of us. But I'm here today to talk to you about how it's impacting real estate. As many of you may already know, the shelter in place has been extended through May, early May as of now, and real estate has been added to the essential business list. So I've had a number of calls with people trying to understand what does that actually mean. First and foremost, safety and health of all of us is still most important. So even though real estate has been added to that essential business list, it doesn't mean that we should be going out there and having our open signs out and doing business as usual. It's anything but business as usual right now. But more importantly for all of you, I want to talk to you today about what it means for buyers and sellers in the current climate that we're in. Now, if you're a seller, technically we can go out there and list your house and in one shape or another get it prepared to sell. However, what I've been talking to my clients about is whether or not that's the most appropriate thing to be doing right now. More specifically, even though realtors can go out and work in the essential business model, the public cannot. And so even if we're trying to sell your home, buyers, for the most part, still aren't able to see your house. And so because of that, the buying pool is highly limited right now. The only people that are really out there looking for properties are highly motivated people, whether they're looking for a deal or whether they're looking to make a purchase for a particular reason, like they're in an apartment and they're desperately needing to get into a home. But either way, the buying pool is limited. And as I said before in many of my newsletters, I think key to our market is competition. And because of that, I think having the lack of competition like we have right now isn't necessarily the best thing for a seller. So even though there are all of the virtual resources available for online, virtual open houses, online pictures and whatnot, I still don't see most buyers wanting to buy properties without touching and feeling it. So until we get the shelter in place removed and buyers can actually freely go out and touch and feel homes that are for sale, I don't think a seller will actually be able to recognize or even know if they're going to be getting the highest price that the market will bear at the given time. But on the flip side, what should you do if you're a buyer? Now, there's lots of things you could be doing. And as I mentioned before, it really comes down to preparation. Get prepared. Now is a great time to start interviewing realtors, online, of course, through Hangouts and Zoom and whatnot, and see who the right fit is for that. Get your financing going. Start thinking through what are the non-negotiables you might have. There's lots of things you could do as a buyer that don't include going out there and looking at open houses. That's something that we would do later on. Just like when you're doing schoolwork, right? Homework is important, and right now is an ideal time to do your homework if you're going to be a buyer. So that being said, if you are thinking about doing a transaction in the market we're in, I think it's important to know that I personally do not think the fallout of COVID-19 is complete from a real estate standpoint. That being said, I still think there are very good reasons both buyers and sellers will be doing transactions. If we assume that that statement is correct, I would say that if I'm a seller, I think what's most important to understand is that you are not going to be selling your property at the top of our market cycle. As long as you're fully understanding that, then we could really get going and figure out how we can get you the best price of what the market will bear today. And the way we're going to do that is basic fundamentals, and it's going to come down to proper preparation. Because remember, in the market that we're going to be coming into after shelter in place is removed, buyers are going to be highly discriminating, and your home has to show as best as possible. By doing that, we will be able to accomplish getting you the highest price that the market will bear. But just always remember that you're not necessarily going to get that same price that your neighbor did 2 years ago. Now, if you're a buyer, I think it's really important to remember that there will be some deals out there, but not every home is going to be a fire sale, okay? And as a seller, they have the ability to say no to an offer. They can just wait out the market. Maybe they're going to wait a few months and see how things play out, right? So I don't think it's a good idea to necessarily just go out there guns blazing and give really low offers on every property, because you may end up insulting some sellers that may be houses you may want to buy a few months later. So as a buyer, I think what's really important to know is there are some deals. We want to go out there, we can look for them. You can look for some of the more distressed situations if it does work for you, but just keep in the back of your mind that not everything is going to be a fire sale, and you want to sort of plan accordingly, if you will. So the biggest takeaway, I think that one, COVID-19, the fallout is not complete. I think you're going to see a lot of fallout, whether it be through layoffs, whether it be through pullback of spending, both in consumers and corporate, right? So that's first and foremost, it's not there. But number two is if you're going to buy and sell, I do think there are very legitimate reasons to be doing that following the shelter in place completion, right? But we just want to make sensible decisions. And I've been doing this for over 19 years now. I know for me, what's always most important is what's in the best interest of my clients. So I know this year is going to be a very different kind of year coming out of this. And I have no doubt that I'm going to be spending a lot of my time really counseling my clients and figuring out what is the most prudent decision and approach that we're going to be making. With that said, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to ping me on Facebook or you can give me a call. I'm happy to talk to you about all of this, and I hope you're all staying safe and healthy.